Guys, here we are. Maddy's getting test fitted up in the car. Not necessarily to get test fitted for the car, but she's about the same size as me. So this is the steering column that I made / modified. That was in the homegrown Hustler. We also put it in Turbo John's Mustang, and now it's gonna find its resting place in the natural born Hustler here. So when I drive, I'd like to have my arm really close to 90 to 120 degrees. This angle right here. The reason for that is if your arm's way the hell out here, if your arm's like straight like that, you don't have a lot of strength right here. You're like a friggin' loose noodle. If you have your arm tight like this, there's a lot of resistance there. You could really use the muscles in your back, the muscles in your bicep, your forearm muscles to keep everything nice and tight, so that we could put this car right down. How would you want to say it?
Down the path you want it to go down.
Yeah, so like drag racing, we're going from point A to point B, but we're not necessarily going in a perfectly straight line from point A to point B. For obstacles, I guess you could say. So yeah, so we're repurposing the steering column. We're getting this all fitted up so that we can, we're not necessarily going to work on the steering right now, but I had to have the steering column in there so I could do the forward bars and the shock bars and stuff like that. I'll flip this around, I guess. Is there anything else we need to touch on before we flip the camera out?
I don't know.
Yeah, so like we got to have the steering column in there to fit the brake pedals and the gas pedal and stuff like that. And we're starting to get to that point on the car. The main chassis of the car is there. When you get the front shocks mounted and the strut bars or the shock bars and stuff like that, the goal is to have that done before I go and take a nap. So
you're gonna build another new seat? Something similar to this?
Yes or no? We might use that temporarily.
That's fine. I just was thinking, like, if you're gonna be building a seat, you gotta know, like,
the other seat's going to be very similar to that.
Yeah.
If we don't use that one, we're going to build one very similar to it. And then probably put like 1 inch of foam padding or something like that in it. Nice lightweight seat. We're trying to keep this car with a weight in mind. So that
1,800 pounds would probably be good.
1,800, 1,600, 1,200. No. I love my big blocks, but I'm going to switch. Absolutely love my big blocks, but we've been helping out Nigel from Brutal Speed and Tuning, and he's got a stock block LS that's freaking impressive, and I could see some benefit to going that route. Parts availability. We've been struggling, even though we run a very basic big block Chevy.
Mostly shelf parts.
Mostly shelf parts that are not on the shelves no more.
Yeah. That
are really hard to come by. It's something that like you used to be able, as long as you could come up with the money, you could be like, hey, I want this at my doorstep in 2 days, and it'll be at your doorstep in 2 days. And now that stuff's like not available. Legitimately not available. Parts manufacturers are on back orders, and people that stock this stuff, like engine builders and stuff like that, we've come across a few engine builders that have reached out to assist us with getting some of the parts that like we're buying and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, like we've paid full price, if not a little overpriced to get these parts, but it's still appreciative on our part, and this is part of the struggle of doing this stuff right now. It's still appreciative on our part, right? Because they let us buy them, but at the same time, those guys now don't have this part to finish up their motor so they could sell the complete motor, right? So as far as engine builders go that do engine building for a living, like I throw stuff together for our personal stuff, and we've helped out on some other people's projects and stuff like that. But for people that go and build cars or build motors on a day-to-day basis, they go through and they're having struggles of selling parts that they used to be able to sell. Like let's say everything from like rod bearings or a camshaft or a cylinder head or cylinder heads or crankshaft or whatever part it may be. They're not willing to sell that stuff anymore because when they go to put the motor together, now they don't have the rod bearings for that motor, or they don't have this or that for that motor. So it's a hurdle that we have to cross. So that would be one reason, a very large reason why we'd possibly go over to a LS combo. There's quite a few people around here in our extended friends list, in our whatever you want to call it. There's quite a few people that we know in the area that run that combo. There's not a lot of big block guys doing this stuff. I love my big block. We've gone really, really fast. Big mile an hour with the big block. But if it keeps us from racing, we might have to go do that other deal. But right now, Pete Harrell at HED is working on the big block, getting the machine shop stuff right, the machining, everything balanced and everything right there. So we should be in pretty good shape for a while. The last big block I put together, we ran, well, the last one we put together, like from beginning to end, like this one's going together, that motor lasted us like 4 or 5 years. More than that. It lasted us a long freaking time. Crap, that lasted 2013, essentially 2013 to 2020. So like 7 years, I think, 7-8 years that motor lasted us. And we ran the hell out of that car. So it's a possibility we might be going the LS route, but I do like my big block. So there's this, there's that. So guys, where were we? Or where are we?
We are just about ready to have the car as a roller.
Yeah. So essentially, so it's Sunday, and we're gonna post this video in whenever it uploads. But I'm essentially a week behind schedule from having this car to a roller where I wanted it. But we've had some factors that were out of our control, I guess you could say, and I gotta be careful with
how hot it is.
How hot it is and stuff like that, like with my medical issues. So like I could really screw myself up if I push too hard. So I got to be very, very careful on that stuff. So, but in doing so, we're kind of like a week behind schedule from having this car to a roller, but at the same time, not really. My original goal was to have the car to a complete roller by July 1st. When I say a complete roller, I mean like a car that can roll forward and backward, rear suspension done, front suspension done, steering done. If brakes were done, that would be a big benefit, but at the same time, I think I built the brake setup in like
they're easy to do.
4 hours or something like that, as far as when I built it on the homegrown Hustler. So it's not an overly complicated task, especially if you've done it before. So, yeah. So essentially we're a little bit behind. But the goal right now is to get this car to a roller, and then we're going to be heading up to New York to visit some family for a day or two. And then we might hit up Ohio Cash Days.
Cash Days at the Hill.
Cash Days at the Hill. Limpy
and Happy.
Limpy and Happy are they're two pretty good dudes. They're a little wild, but that's okay. We're wild too, at times. So they're
putting on this.
They're
event.
straight up dudes. They're genuine, and they're generally good people, and they want to see people succeed. So we'd like to go support that deal at KD Dragway. We're not going to be racing. I don't plan on. Well, I could probably drive a car there if I wanted to, but we'll probably be up there just for that's a Saturday Sunday deal. So it's Saturday Sunday, right? So we'll probably be up there on Sunday. We'll probably spend like Friday, Saturday with family up in New York, and then shoot down, drive all night, Saturday night into Sunday. Maybe leave like middle of the night. Maybe spend some time with some friends Saturday night, late Saturday night. Then we'll just drive and get down there, Sunday afternoon or so. Racing starts at 3, and that should be a pretty big event. I don't know if there's any big sponsors on that race or not, but there was one deal, like, I'll talk about it, so it kind of concerns me a little bit, but at the same time I knew it was coming, okay? And it's another reason why we're working so hard to get this car done, is simply because we're not on a race against time to make a deadline to a race, but we're also racing against the cost of going racing. So we lost the homegrown Hustler in November, which was 6 months ago, right? We started working on this car a month and a half ago or so, about a month and a half ago.
Probably.
We started building this car, but in that time frame, the cost of racing has literally doubled. Like, no joke, like, doubled. So, yeah, like, literally doubled.
And we're trying to get it done within a reasonable time frame before things potentially continue to increase.
They're going to increase. It just is what it is. So, if we can, at least for a short foreseeable future, so we can't afford. This isn't negative. This is real stuff that like people are finally starting to come see to fruition. That we can't afford to go spend $1,000 on a weekend if we don't have a competitive car. So not only do we have to get this car done, we need to get this car done. We need to get this car tested so that we can swing with the people. And like back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, you were able to compete with people that have expendable amounts of money if you had the work ethic and the knowledge to go with it. Nowadays, it's getting hard just to even to be able to afford to get to the race. Literally, just like the cost of tires have gone up damn near, not doubled, but gone up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And went from $400 for a set of rear tires to like $600 for a set of tires now. And like that's a big change, right? Like it used to cost everyone just like filling up your car, right? So the cost of traveling and stuff like that has gone up. So long story short, we're on a race against time to get this car done, tested, and be able to catch up with the pack or get it back at least to a place where the homegrown hustler was. Because I feel like if we get this car to where the homegrown hustler was, then we got a fighting chance. And then we can start learning from that point. So thankfully this is similar to what the homegrown hustler was. One of the reasons why building this compared to that, because I had a pretty good idea. I could print time slips with that car. So if this car works like the homegrown hustler did, we'll be able to get back up and racing fairly quickly. To our standards fairly quick. So yeah. But we're going to be looking for a couple parts along the way. I need some used, even just one used 15 by 14, 5 by 4.75 Chevy bolt pattern, bead lock with like a 5-inch backspace, 5.5-inch backspace, something like that. If you have one of those, or if you have two double bead locks, and I'm talking about something that's like from 10, 15 feet away, looks decent. It needs to be straight. But like, it doesn't have to be like it
brand
can't
new.
be like it's just not. It's not needed to have a new set of wheels on this car. And if we don't put a new set of wheels on this car, that's another 1 or 2 races that we can attend, and not. How do I say? There's another.
You spend the same amount of money, but it just depends on where the money's being put.
Yeah. So it just is what it is, and we love this stuff. So
What
it's
else? Wheels?
Yep.
What else?
I wouldn't mind finding another crankshaft, a 4-inch crankshaft,
A good.
big block Chevy, 4-inch stroke crankshaft. What else? A 9.8 deck blower intake, a blower manifold, essentially one with like a raised runner, something that has like not a short runner blower manifold, but not like a tunnel ram either. Something that's like mid-range as far as the runner length. What else? Some like 27, 28-inch tall front runners, bias ply like drag front tires, possibly a front set of wheels, something lightweight, not something lightweight front wheel. Chevy or Ford bolt pattern for those. At least it has to be a 5 lug. But yeah, so we should have this car to a roller before we head up to. We're gonna have this car to a roller before we leave. That day is kind of to be determined. But the goal right now is to hit up KD Dragway on Sunday, preferably on the way back down here. But if we have to hit it on the way up there, we could do that too, and just do spend the time with the family after a couple days after that. But we should have this car to a roller. I mean, I could have it to a roller probably by tomorrow afternoon. We're gonna start finishing off the front shock mounts and stuff like that, and tying in the front bars. And then once those are on, like, we can roll the car around. So we're making progress. So, guys, I appreciate everyone that likes and subscribes to the channel. I know this video wasn't overly
action-packed,
but we'll have another video coming out for you shortly. And there's certain things that are just very hard to film when I'm working at nighttime and working by myself. Sometimes when I'm working, like doing the wishbone and stuff like that up inside the car, I'm sorry, I can't film that. I have a hard enough time seeing myself, and it's impossible for you guys to see what I'm doing up in there. So it just is what it is. But once we get the car to a roller, then we can get out, start moving the stuff away from the jigs, moving the plates out from underneath the car, so I can set up the camera so you could see from like a bottom view or something like that. And once we get the body panels off, then you could start seeing everything around. But for right now, I have to have certain things on the car to be able to connect the dots. So that's that. We appreciate y'all.
Hopefully we'll see some of you guys out at KD Dragway.
Yep.
It's a Saturday, Sunday event, but like Nick said, we'll probably just be there
Sunday.
So it'll be good to go out to a race. We went to Street Car Taste over and helped out Nigel. And
yep. Made it to the finals. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And made it to the finals. They got some pretty fast dudes.
Yeah.
So the car was running good, but I got lined up with a screw-blown Hemi. And that's just so hard to compete with a stock block LS deal. But made it a pretty decent run, and
it was a good event.
It was a good event.
Fun,
it was a pretty cool deal.
The weather wasn't super hot, so.
I like Nigel. He's a cool dude. And he's like, man, he said, I heard everyone started clapping for me and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm fixing to let all these people down. He's like, I'm gonna put I'm gonna see what we're gonna see what the car could do, but man, like, we're running against a screw-blown Hemi, like a car that's got like potential to go like fast,
yeah.
like, and on paper should have them covered by like, 0.3 of a second or so. So it is what it is. It was a good run, good time.
Yeah.
Hung out with Boosted, my friend, and those guys, and that was a cool deal.
Yeah.
So
if we see you guys on Sunday, it'll be a while since we've been at an Ohio race, so that'll be awesome too. Make sure you say hi.
It's been a while since we've been up that way.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to see everyone and say hi and everything. If you guys want us to bring up some t-shirts, we'll bring up some t-shirts. But we plan on just taking the little beater Honda up there, so we're not going to be bringing all the merchandise and stuff like that, simply because it would cost us, $500 in fuel to bring the t-shirts up there, and it just is what it is. But if you guys have, want to buy a t-shirt for $20, you could order it on the website and we could deliver it, or if you want to just pay with pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, whatever, we could bring those up with us. Just let us know what size you want and what. Just send us a personal message or whatever, and we can bring those up. So, guys, I appreciate it, and we hope to see some of you guys at KD Dragway. It's gonna be wild. I'm not sure I want to we went pretty fast there, and I'm not sure I want to go that fast up there side by side with another car that could go that ET. But it's gonna be a hell of a race. There's some dudes flying, and I wouldn't be surprised if the track record gets set Saturday night for a small tire car. I still think Eddie Grimes has it. We were within a couple hundredths of a second of his ET, and I don't know if there's been other cars faster than that out there. There's been some cars rolling, but Eddie's truck, even 2 years ago, was freaking flying out there. Murder 88, that was a bad mamma jam out there. And when we were up there, when we got hit in the homegrown Hustler, in the shutdown area out there, we were on a pretty decent pass, but we made a test pass after that, and it was rolling. We had a buy, not a buy run, but we had a test pass, and I was just let's see if it'll take it. And I honestly think with the improvements we made that was a 4th of July race.
Oh yeah.
On 4th of July last year. So I think with the improvements we made to that car within the following months after that, I honestly think we could have picked up 2 to 3 tenths at that track, and that's fast for that facility. So we'll see what happens. There's going to be a lot of bad mamma jammas there. I don't want to even start naming names because there's going to be at least.
Is there a lock-in list or no?
I don't even know if there's a lock-in list, but I know there's going to be probably 10 cars there that have the capability of setting the small tire record at KD Dragway. So that's going to be an epic battle there, and it'll be a good race to spectate, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
That's one race I think I'd rather spectate than actually racing, but it'll be a hell of an event, and I'm hoping the weather's good and everything else like that, but it should be a hell of an event there at KD Dragway. On Saturday night is big tire and tailgate and something else, but Sunday is probably going to be the big
Stick
race.
shift, I think, is on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, they got a couple different classes, so it'll be fun.
Sunday's going to be the hell of an event though. We got small tire and a couple other classes, and it's going to be epic. It'll be wild.
They got modern muscle.
Check out the event page. Maybe we'll post that out on the video. So I'm gonna go get some work done.
All right.
See you guys. We appreciate it, and we'll probably see you at KD Dragway Sunday. Simply spectating unless I get another message asking if I want to drive. We'll see. Time will tell. All right, that's out of here. I'm getting to work. Like that, and I got some pretty good lights up and stuff like that. You can see our rope lights in the background, but our hillbilly rope lights, put those down.
Because I want to look for the name of the actual thing, and I don't want to screw it up.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
So, and then we might hit up Ohio Cash Days.
Cash Days at the Hill.
Cash Days at the Hill.